Great, thank you. Good morning and welcome. Thank you everyone for being here today. Asiam nasiaya enta pekwalasaltan tanis na nemo ait na shkwalawin kwanas I. My name is Kwalasaltan. My Nuu-chah-nulth name is Cletion. English name is Doug White. I am the chief negotiator of the Lake Babine Nation and will be your master of ceremonies this morning. It is my pleasure to welcome all of you here, elders, chiefs, citizens of Lake Babine, ministers, and other officials. I'd also like to recognize respected First Nations leadership tuning in via live stream. Lydia Huitsum, Robert Phillips, and Cheryl Casimir from the First Nations Summit Task Group, Chief Don Tom, Chief Judy Wilson from the Union of BC Indian Chiefs, and Regional Chief Terry Teegee from the BC Assembly of First Nations. To get us started in the right way, I'd like to send us up to Lake Babine territory to invite words that come before all others. Please join me in welcoming the children of Lake Babine with a special presentation.
Are from Morris Williams Elementary. It's a school run by Lake Babine Nation. They are in grades 4, 5, 6, and 7. Today they're going to perform some songs and do a prayer for you. The students get carrier instruction in our school every day. Their language teacher is Miss Barb Patrick. She does an amazing job with them, and it fills our community's hearts when our kids sing for them. So we're so proud of our students and just happy to share with you what they've learned and what they know. Masaicho, Alec.
Indoni, Nanesuni, Bacha, Icha, Doni Travis, Indoni.
Thank you so much to the children of Lake Babine for those beautiful prayer and song. I'd like to invite Chief Gordon Alec of the Lake Babine Nation to the podium to make an important announcement about a new tripartite agreement. Chief Alec is serving his first term as Chief of Lake Babine Nation, has previously served numerous terms on council. Please join me in welcoming Chief Alec.
Morning, everybody. It is a grand day today for Lake Babine Nation. Secho, skanakanano, tedesnis, Denise, Sekaze, Skyze. Zin Debbie Odis Jane. Noas Neolsat. Dit en Dakdelchal. Hale Aninzen. Kaed outside the Dennis. Edwardson. Die Kai Jane at en by Edetic me. The slastani. Habet signs a death said. First 5 years. Biwa as that is one yan di zin. Laz the delis. Tabi Masai. No, Disney. Kasi the government. Noas ninindil an ozil say. Biu is ozil say no kanak dihuta. No niu tabi so ka nanino sa jindeo dani. Noas kak na bit at ni tani kita is kak change adatly. Any no as how in this is Masai. Welcome to the Minister Scott Fraser of British Government of British Columbia, and Minister Bennett of the Government of Canada, members of BC First Nations Leadership Council, citizens and elders, and hereditary chiefs of the Lake Babine Nation. I would like to thank the children of the youth of Lake Babine Nation for their beautiful and powerful opening prayer. For today's historic event, they are an important reminder of why we have worked so hard over many years to get to this day. This day is for them. Messiah. This day is for them because it is our job to create a better future. A future where children and grandchildren may live their lives in self-determination with the benefit of their Aboriginal title and in health and dignified relationship with British Columbia, Canada, and their citizens. It is unfortunate that we are not able to be together in person today to join hands in celebration for all the Lake Babine Nation members that are watching in today's event online and for everyone's participating from British Columbia and Canada, near and far. I want you all to know that my heart is with you. I embrace you all today as your friend. One day when this awful pandemic has passed, we will hold a feast to celebrate today's accomplishment. And we will invite you all to be our guests here in the beautiful lands and waters that have come down to us from our ancestors. We are joined today by BC and Canada to announce the sign of Lake Babine Nation Foundation Agreement. This agreement been many years in the making and includes nearly $200 million in direct immediate benefits to Lake Babine Nation. This includes the transfer of 20,000 hectares or 50,000 acres of land in fee simple. Land that is worth over $150 million provides foundation for a new wealth and independence for Lake Babine Nation. Along with the land is $43 million over 5 years in funding for both economic development and program enhancement to begin to make a real difference in the lives of Lake Babine Nation members. We signed this agreement today without sacrificing our rights, our title, and our future interests in the rest of our territory. Quite the opposite, in fact. This agreement is about recognition and implementation of our rights and title. This is truly a historic day for all of us, the signing of the foundation agreement. In the accumulation of years of hard work, the Lake Babine Nation government and its negotiating team. This work has been made possible by numerous generations of Lake Babine Nation leadership including most recently, former Chief Wilf Adam, when we began the foundation agreement negotiations, Masai Chaw Wilf. This is a day where it is important acknowledgement people, hard work and contributions, and to name them and thank them. I'd like to start to acknowledging the steady leadership of Councillor Verna Power, Masai Verna. Verna has been a direct part of the negotiations team over the last number of years on behalf of the Lake Babine Nation Council. More recently, Councillor Cheyenne Dennis. Thank you, Cheyenne. Cheyenne also played an important role in working with a team with our hereditary chiefs, and Councillor Murphy Patrick, this young man to my right. Thank you, Murphy. Murphy Abraham. I knew I'd make that mistake. I stand corrected. Sorry, Murphy. He has launched our work in reclaiming our jurisdiction over children and families. I have also appreciated the strong support of Deputy Derek McDonald, Deputy Chief. Thank you, Derek, Masai Chof. And the commitment for all the full lake of the Lake Babine Council. Thank you very much. For former Chief, elected Chief Betty Patrick has played a key role as a main manager of the negotiations process. That must be acknowledged. Thank you, Betty. And Monty Palmetier, we thank you for your help. This agreement to the finish line. Masai Chaw. Dominique Nouvet has worked diligently on behalf as our legal counsel throughout the negotiations, and leading the negotiations for our nation has been our chief negotiator, Doug White. Masai Chaw. Thank you, Doug. I also want to acknowledge the provincial negotiations team led by Chief Negotiator Tom McCarthy and supported by Talal Glover, Ian Hollingshead, Becky Black, Susan Kelly, Pamela Miller, and all the others. We must also acknowledge the leadership and contributions of Trish Balkan, Deputy Minister Doug Call, and Minister Scott Fraser, and Doug Donaldson. I would like to also wholeheartedly like to thank directly Premier John Horgan for his leadership and his friendship with the Lake Babine Nation. To the federal team that led the negotiator, Frank Soda, Craig Nordmans, Hardef Saran, and Cindy Liu, we extend our gratitude. Masai Shaw. It also is important to acknowledge the contributions of Deputy Minister Joe Weil, Chris Royne, and of course, the leadership of Minister Carolyn Bennett, Masai Shaw. Most of all, I want to thank our members for attending meetings, providing our voice, and shaping the agreement over many years to be one of the most powerful agreements ever concluded between Indigenous peoples in a country's history. But the work is not over. We have taken an important step to secure resources so that as a nation, we can do the work together to create our approach to governance, research decision-making, and we have an initial land base to begin to work of building prosperity for future generations. Our goal is to create the right relationship with both the forest industry in our territory and with local government. It's, as an example, we spent time building mutual understanding and relationship between the people of Smithers Landing. The work ahead will not be simple or easy work. The foundation agreement will guide us work together toward a new reality premised on mutual recognition and respect. It has been great honor for me as chief to be part of this historic work that will lead into meaningful and real change in the lives of the Lake Babine Nation members. Masai Shaw, Kaizin Sozi Kusai. Sawakana di Aten Jintazadelis. Masai.
Thank you so much, Chief Alec, for both your leadership and your remarks on this historic day for Lake Babine Nation. I would now like to introduce Minister Carolyn Bennett. The Honorable Carolyn Bennett is the Minister of Crown Indigenous Relations and was previously the Minister of State for Public Health. She has also served as the critic for public health, seniors, persons with disabilities, the social economy, and Aboriginal affairs. She is a medical doctor and has served federally since 1997. Please join me in welcoming Carolyn Bennett.
Adi, hello, bonjour. I'm joining you today from the traditional and treaty territory of the Anishinaabe people, now known as the Chippewa Tri-Council, comprised of Beausoleil First Nation, Rama First Nation, and Georgina Island First Nation, as well as the traditional territory of the Huron-Wendat and a historic homeland of the Métis. I would like to acknowledge your traditional territory and truly wish that I could be there with you in person. But today we come together virtually in the spirit of partnership as we make the health and safety of your community our priority. And we welcome the Chief's invitation to come to your territory for a feast as soon as it's possibly safe. So I too want to really thank the children of the Lake Babine Nation for uplifting our spirits with that beautiful welcome song and starting this important occasion, as the Chief said, a grand day in such a good way. Singing through their masks, reminding us why we can't be together at this time. I too want to just thank Chief Alec and all the members of the Lake Babine Nation who are online with us to take part in this historical signing ceremony, as well as my provincial colleague, Scott Fraser, the Minister of Indigenous Relations and Reconciliation, for hosting this important occasion. Scott, it's been a pleasure working with you over these last years and in making serious damage to the status quo, as you say, but also advancing meaningful and lasting reconciliation. And I guess I know your allyship will bring us together in the years to come. I too want to thank the negotiating teams. Huge gratitude to you, Doug White, and the negotiating team for the Lake Babine Nation, to the Province of British Columbia for all of their hard work, as well as to the federal negotiating team led by Chris Royne and Frank Soda, with the support of Hardif Saran, Craig Nordmans, Cindy Liu, and Réjean Babineau. I know they are watching this event from their live stream and really think it's important to acknowledge their work and commitment. And I also, we look forward, all of us, to joining you for more ceremonies like this one as we are able to be together again. And we also acknowledge all the amazing leadership from the BC First Nations who are joining us. So next time, I hope that we will be able to be together while together instead on your territory, instead of this 2020 reality of together while apart. I remember being with you in Vancouver in 2018 when we signed the Memorandum of Understanding that has guided the work over the last 2 years to get us to where we are today. Today is an opportunity to reflect on what's been achieved through dialogue and hard work, and to look at what we can and will achieve as we move forward together on the path to self-determination and reconciliation. The signing of the Lake Babine Nation Foundation Agreement demonstrates that we are committed to working in a spirit of collaboration and renewal with the Government of British Columbia and the Lake Babine Nation within our nation-to-nation relationship. The agreement, as the Chief has said, commits the parties to a 20-year term that will promote social and community well-being and regional economic growth. We will be working together every step of the way, and I want to make clear that our relationship continues well past this agreement. The foundation agreement we are signing today also sets out a path for the negotiation of future agreements, which will recognize and implement the rights and title of Lake Babine First Nation. The agreement will provide Lake Babine Nation with the opportunity and resources to develop a governance model in accordance with its rights and its vision of self-government. I would like to recognize the process and dialogue being undertaken, which includes all of Lake Babine's communities and off-reserve members, Lake Babine's hereditary leadership, and its elected leadership. These are important conversations to be able to create a strong and durable future for your community. Today's signing recognizes how much Canada looks forward to working to implement Lake Babine Nation's vision of self-determination and the steps necessary to design your governance based upon your traditional laws and legal customs and describe your relationship with Canada. The Prime Minister has been clear. We're committed to renewing our relationship based on the affirmation of rights, respect, cooperation, and partnership. Your leadership in advancing this relationship is invaluable, as it sets a truly important example of progress out from under the Indian Act. At this time, as the pandemic has magnified systemic issues and longstanding inequities, today's signing is a welcome example of acknowledging the progress that can be made in closing socioeconomic gaps by furthering self-determination. As we dedicate ourselves to this next chapter, I'm confident that together of your nation to create and incent lasting positive change for your community and First Nations communities coast to coast to coast. I look forward to working with all of you, advancing reconciliation in a nation-to-nation, government-to-government relationship, and fulfilling your vision to build a proud, prosperous, self-governing, and sustainable nation that celebrates the language and culture and traditional legal practices and customs. All your hard work makes all of Canada proud and moves our country forward. Miss I, thank you. Merci beaucoup.
Thank you so much, Minister Bennett, both for your leadership and for your words here today. It's now my pleasure to introduce Minister Scott Fraser. Scott Fraser is the MLA for Mid-Island Pacific Rim and British Columbia's Minister of Indigenous Relations and Reconciliation. Scott has served a number of terms in elected office since 2005. Please join me in welcoming Minister Scott Fraser.
Well, thank you so much, Doug. It's a pleasure to be here. Hey, I'm going to pause from my speech to introduce a special guest that has just arrived. So I'm going to leave my seat for a moment.
Oh, no, you stay right there, Doug.
Okay.
Sorry, Scott. Thank you, Doug, for letting me just dive in here. Minister Bennett, Chief Alec, I just want to say how proud I am to be the leader of British Columbia at a time when the nation of Canada, the province of British Columbia, and the great nation of Babine Lake are coming together on this foundation agreement to make sure that we're demonstrating not just to each other, but to the rest of the world that Canada, British Columbia, and Indigenous peoples are on the same page going forward. On unceded territory, we're building relationships that will transform your community and transform how BC and Canada function. I'm so proud of what's happening today. I want Scott to do all the talking, but Doug, thanks for letting me butt in here. Best of luck to everybody.
Denise Sakuze Skyze. It's an honor to be with you here today. I'm so happy that the Premier he has a schedule that didn't work. And I know we just told everybody that it is going to work, and he made made every effort to be here. So that's so wonderful. And I really wish we could be doing this in person in the territory. But I'm no good at technology, but I'm so glad we have the technology to be able to do this here today in a safe way, which is necessary, of course. I'm joining you here from the BC Legislature. That's the territory of the Lekwungen-speaking people, the Esquimalt and the Songhees nations. I thank them for allowing me to be here on their territory. I'm pleased to join Chief Alec and Minister Bennett, and as well as the Lake Babine hereditary chiefs and Lake Babine councillors, members from the Leadership Council. I'm glad you're here too, and everyone else who is here to bear witness to this momentous occasion. I was going to say my speech says I bring warm welcome from Premier John Horgan, but I don't think I have to do that any longer. The beautiful song, Skyze, the beautiful song that we heard at the start from the children of Lake Babine reminds us all of why we are here today, why we have worked so hard together to reach this momentous agreement. We see the future. A future where Lake Babine is a thriving, self-governing nation, a future where the children, as the leaders of tomorrow, have the abundant opportunity and connection to culture. This foundation agreement is ambitious. It's a 20-year vision laid out step by step to implement Lake Babine rights and title. And the province will be a partner all the way through that. With this roadmap, we have a clear way forward to work together, to implement self-governance, to boost economic development, collaborate on land and resource decisions, and promote community wealth and well-being and health. The agreement sets out a series of very tangible commitments. Each step will build on the ones before. The foundation agreement gives us a new model for British Columbia for how we work together with First Nations, improving people's lives, and taking real steps to implement rights and title through dialogue instead of conflict and court cases. This agreement will help promote clarity and predictability and a strong economy for Lake Babine, but for everyone in the region, for everyone in the province. Lake Babine can and should be a central pillar in the forest sector, which is such a pillar of the region's economy. Now, that partnership will lead to more jobs and more economic growth, and making life better for families throughout the area. 20,000 hectares of land from the province will help support the vision. And this is an exciting example of how we are taking new and innovative approaches to agreements with First Nations, and how we are putting into practice the Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples Act. We are moving beyond the denials of Indigenous rights into a new government-to-government relationship, one that fosters transformative change in our relationships with Lake Babine, one that makes a real difference on the ground for Lake Babine members, and one that brings stability and prosperity to everyone in the region. In conclusion, I want to recognize the immense work and commitment and belief from staff and negotiators from Lake Babine and our people at the province, federal ministries over the past few years. I also want to thank residents of Smithers Landing, 5 Mile, and the Friends of Babine Lake Group. They have put in a lot of hard work themselves with Lake Babine Nation and the province to help us get to where we are today. They have built positive relationships and given important input on proposed land parcels, which will help us refine our thinking on them. This hard work and commitment to begin to a new beginning shows the promise of the foundation agreement, how we as British Columbians can move forward together in reconciliation. Through this kind of positive relationship with neighboring communities, residents, and industry, we can work together to sustainably grow the regional economy for the benefit of everyone who lives in the region. The potential of this truly amazing landmark agreement is immense, and it's so very exciting. And I look forward to following its progress over the next 20 years. And Minister Bennett, I'm glad you raised the issue. We are doing, all of us today, constructive damage to the status quo. And I want to thank you all very much for the honor to be able to work with all of you to bring us to this point. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Minister Fraser, both for your leadership and for your words today. Acknowledge very much the contribution that you've made in your career, standing up for the people of British Columbia to create and craft the kind of future that we want We know that we're in a dynamic moment in this country's history, and we're well served by the kind of vision that you've been able to bring to the table to help us achieve the right kind of future for all of us. So thank you so much for your contributions. Now I'd like to invite leadership to sign the strategy. We will start by inviting Chief Alec to sign the foundation agreement, and following Chief Alec, we will see Minister Bennett and then Minister Fraser sign the agreement.
Where I get to sign.
I'm next. It's all done now.
Beautiful. That's just wonderful. Now, to invite the spirit of celebration, I'd like to invite Chiefs Frank Alec, Ronnie West, Eugene Patrick, and Herbert Williams, who would like to offer a celebration songs for all of us today.
My name is Eugene Patrick. I come from the Martin Frog clan, Jestehu. My hereditary name is Losa.
Amos Lachibu on behalf of the Wadak.
Ronnie West, James Kades from the Glanton clan.
Herbert William, Dewisham Zuck from the Grouse clan and spokesperson for the Beaver clan.
Thank you so much to the chiefs for those powerful songs from the clans of the Lake Babine Nation. This concludes our event. Thank you everyone for joining us today. It's been my honor to do work with Lake Babine Nation as their chief negotiator and also to MC today's event.